Season 17 is only a few days away now, and we still know very little. However, there is some evidence related to the dungeon coming next week. Rasputin has knowledge of somewhere called NEFELE Stronghold, and this could be a new location that we go to, informed by Rasputin himself. Linking together the story, the dungeon, and uncovering the mysteries of Season 17. This also has the potential to involve SIVA, which could be why the Bungie devs are so hyped for the new season. Today I'm going to present the evidence for a Rasputin-themed dungeon in NEFELE Stronghold, and check out the Bungie Dev hype, as we're only a few hours away from finding out about that new season. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. Well, Season of Redacted is shrouded in mystery at the moment, and it's starting next Tuesday. And it looks like we're going to be getting a trailer sometime that day, and I guess it's either an hour or a few hours before reset. This is likely to give away a big story beat, and will reveal the reason why Bungie has been keeping their cards so close to their chest. Well, I'm hoping that we're going to get a dungeon called NEFELE Stronghold, and it's going to be all related to Rasputin and SIVA. So let's have a look at the evidence in the game. Well, we know we are getting a dungeon. We don't really know much more than that, but Bungie did lay out a few details in their latest This Week at Bungie update last week, and they said the following. So next week we're launching the brand new dungeon on Friday. So that is interesting. It's not going live on Tuesday. It's going live on Friday at reset time, and the recommended power for normal entry is going to be 1550. Master difficulty will be live day one as well, but we're going to leave those entry requirements for you to see in-game next week. Well, that's interesting too. It seems like there's going to be different entry requirements for the Master mode. Then Bungie continued by saying, we're going to let you discover where you'll be going and what you're going to be doing for yourselves. We wanted to give you a quick tease as to what the rewards are and what you can expect to earn once inside. So you've got one legendary armor set per class. Artifice versions can be acquired via Master difficulty. 4 legendary weapons, 2 legendary reprise weapons, an exotic weapon, a catalyst, and some exotic accessories like a ship or a sparrow, and 2 legendary emblems. So that all really sounds good, but it doesn't really give us any clues as to the theme. I'm thinking perhaps the story beats in the dungeon are going to be linked this season, given it appears as if the dungeon is going to be one of the main focuses for Season 17. You know, I would really like to think that we're going to get a Rasputin-themed dungeon, which picks up from the small breadcrumbs of the story beats from Season of the Risen. So let's have a quick look at that, and here's some lore at the end of the Exotic Glaive quest from this past season. And it says, new intel awaits you on the evidence board, and the report includes a note to Ikora. So the lore says, to IKO006, here's the AI-COM RSPN protocol transcript we picked up from the wounds. According to this, before initiating Yuga Sundown, Rasputin killed all the protective measures in place for human colonies and the settlements. There's a big list of code names for the Moon, Mars, Earth, the Exodus ships, etc., but Rasputin also refers to a place called NEFELE Stronghold. No record of any of that in our databases, forwarding to AB for cross-reference. So AB being Anna Bray, and then a follow-up message from Anna Bray brings up more questions than it answers. To CHA319, no hit on NEFELE Stronghold in any of Rasputin's records. Can't even find the original transcript you're quoting. If it's real, someone removed all traces of it, and if they did it so cleanly that I would suspect Rasputin himself. No action items on the case, just an unsatisfying label of unsolved. Well, really interesting stuff there, an unsolved case relating to NEFELE Stronghold, and it seems like Rasputin may be hiding his tracks himself. You know, last time we heard about Rasputin was in Season of Arrivals, when he was shut off by the arriving pyramid ships. Anna did her best to save him and put him inside an engram for safekeeping, perhaps to transfer him into an exo body at a later date. Well, let's have a look at a lore entry called Frayed, and that was from Season of Arrivals. She had tried everything, the Great Bray, a lineage that promised to save them. For all her genius and moxie, this was beyond her. Rasputin lay dying in a dozen empty screens splayed out around Anna's command station. She could visualise the bleeding code running through her fingers. Zavala's voice was in her ear as ambient haze, relegated to the background of her mind like distant gunfire. The image of the pyramid's distortion wave was still raw. This wasn't an attack, it was a command, a lazy dismissal of all their best laid plans. There were no explosions, no blaring sirens or sparks or dramatic electricity, nothing to combat or fix, just a guardian walled in silent black glass and disbelief. She had been so sure. Anna's eyes tracked Jinju as the ghost sped from console to console, attaching strings of light to each. They slowed her as she went, buried under some load. "Anna?" Jinju's voice strained under the crushing distortion. "I think I've got him. Most of him, but not for long." The words cut through a distant gunfire. "What?" Anna asked. Her voice came softly at first, unsure at what form to take as the information processed. "What?" Jinju groaned and whispered an exasperated, "Pillory. Engram. It's not ready. Anna, now. He'll go insane. I can't." The light tethers attached to Jinju began to pop one by one. It's this or nothing. The prospect sent Anna tearing across the room. She belted a command into the air and a floor safe opened in response. Anna snatched the dodecahedron enclosure from the safe and braced it in front of Jinju. "Jinju, do it!" The ghost shells reformed to forge a directing structure before a core erupted with light and data. A stream of pure information beamed into the engram, filling it with a spiral wisps of light. "Did you?" "As much as I could." Outside the windows, bolts of atmospheric friction dragged flames through the sky as warsats plummeted from low-orbit defense positions. Their impacts were distant. With Rasputin safely inside an engram and the knowledge that we've got somewhere called NEFELE Stronghold, these could be the clues to the new dungeon coming in Season 17. Nefeles, translated, means goddess of clouds, and Stronghold is a place that is fortified to protect it from an attack. So it could be a dungeon in the sky or in the clouds somewhere. Given Rasputin deleted all traces of NEFELE Stronghold, it's likely we'll have to consult with Anna Bray and perhaps remove Rasputin from his engram and put him into an exo body. This is something that Bungie have thought about for a while but have never executed on it. It could be that Rasputin has some weapons there that would be useful in our fight against the Witness, perhaps SIVA nanotechnology. SIVA was once used against the Iron Lords very successfully, and it could be a powerful weapon to use against the Pyramid Fleet. Rasputin could then give us the coordinates for NEFELE Stronghold, and the dungeon would be us delving deep into NEFELE Stronghold, perhaps battling against SIVA to get it under control. This could also bring in the Elixni, Mithrax, given the Fallen's role in the Rise of Iron expansion back in 2016. None of this is confirmed yet, but I imagine we're going to find out on Tuesday, the 24th of May, 2022. But let me know down in the comments, what do you think the dungeon is going to be, and what are your theories about the story for next season? I would love to hear from you and what you think. Well, next up, we're going to have a look at the hype coming out of Bungie, which is quite extraordinary. So we've seen a fair amount of excitement from Bungie devs recently on Twitter, getting hyped about the new season. You'd normally expect community managers to hype it up, but we've got narrative designers, sandbox designers, game directors too, all singing the praises of the upcoming season, so let's have a look. So DMG, the senior community manager at Bungie, wrote this on Reddit. So overwhelming majority of players are just straight up hyped for the season, and they are going to lose their minds when all the goodies, the paid season, the free subclass update, are revealed. Well, that in itself is really interesting stuff. Next up, we got Hazel Monforton, the senior narrative designer at Bungie, and she says, "Y'all, I cannot stress enough about how good next season in Destiny 2 is. It's phenomenal, so we've really absolutely killed it. It's fantastic. Y'all are all gonna love it." Do excuse my American accent there. Next up, we have Kevin Yanis, the sandbox discipline lead at Bungie, and he says, "So I'm confident it's going to be effing dope. Team knocked it out of the park. It's only a few more sleeps." So Kevin Yanis there, so famous for his appearances in Bungie Vidocs. He's getting really, really hyped. And then finally, we got Joe Blackburn, the game director at Bungie. He simply said, "I'm excited about the future of Destiny 2. Now, it doesn't mean we're getting a Rasputin-themed dungeon, but it does mean whatever happens on Tuesday, they are all very confident that we are going to love it. And I think for that simple reason, I am very, very excited indeed. But let me know what you think in the comments about the new dungeon. Do you think we are going to get a Rasputin-themed dungeon and find the location for NEFELE Stronghold, or do you think it's going to be something else completely? Well, that is it for this look at NEFELE Stronghold dungeon in Destiny 2, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon.